Local Women Magazine presents Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter.
Hello and welcome to the first ever Local Women Business Podcast. My name is Jenna Hill. I am the founder of Fia Investments and I am super excited to have my co-host Roshni Shah. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Roshni. I am the owner of a salon in Lisburn, and Jenna and I have been friends for about coming on 20 years.
Oh, that makes us
sound so old.
That's actually so bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
20 years,
my
isn't
goodness.
it? Well, thereabouts.
Yeah, that's actually really scary.
Somewhere between the 15 and 20 more.
I feel like we just left school like a few years ago. And
We did. I'm pretty sure it was 2 years ago. So,
and now we're like 5 kids between us, and they're like rightly up school as well. Which is even worse.
I know, not us going, what about after schools club? And no, I think that's meant to be us. Are we booking ourselves in?
That is so bad. And this has obviously taken us absolutely ages to get together and do this.
But we're here.
We are finally here.
We've managed it.
Finally here. I think that is the definition of mum life,
Mums in
entrepreneur
business,
life.
I think. You know, it's like something's come up this week and you're trying to make your calendars match, and it's like a needle in a haystack trying to find a day that works for everyone.
It's so bad. And it's trying to match calendars, but then also keep husbands happy, kids don't miss anything, and you still are showing up and you don't have the mum guilt. And it's super tough.
Yeah, but we are here.
Tell me, how was this week? How was this week as mum and business owner?
Do you mean how was half-term week?
Yes.
Do you know what? It was fine. We're very well balanced. I'm so lucky. My husband really, you know this about Jamie. He really is very great at helping me manage it all. So I was actually at a training event for work on Monday. So that was nice. I got a little day away from the kids, and then it's just back to the chaos, isn't it? You're just trying to balance it all. What about you guys? Did you survive it?
Oh my goodness. It's just so hard because I think Carl and I have got much better now at saying what he needs and what I need to try and make it work. But still, sometimes I can find myself thinking, but my thing's more important. And he's thinking, but his thing's more important.
I know.
And sometimes that is really tough. But then you also have the kids sitting there looking at you and you're thinking, oh goodness, I really need to do like a Montessori school and like get the paints out.
It's so hard, isn't it? Like to manage it all and make sure that they're happy as well. Like you say, it is that mum guilt thing of like, well, I've got really important things that I need to do, but you know,
so
you're
tough.
having someone pulling you by the leg. Mom, please.
Oh, it is. It is just, it's so difficult. So tell me, you went away to Chester?
I was in Chester at a masterclass hosted by the most amazing brow artist in the whole wide world, Abby, in Brow HQ. So they have this gorgeous academy, this gorgeous salon. And you know, you go to these things and you go, oh, I've paid all this money to go to a masterclass.
Yes.
Is it going to be worth it? But honestly, even just walking away from the energy, the atmosphere, looking around other people's salons, it's like having a little nosy, you know, through the keyhole kind of situation where you're like, oh, I like that. I would like that in my salon. It was so brilliant and so worth it.
See, it's so hard whenever you do book these courses because you think, am I going to get something out of this? Is it going to be valuable or is it not?
That's it. I do think that you have to, it's sort of towing the line between knowing your own skills and what you're capable of, but knowing that there's always the opportunity to learn and to grow. So you kind of have to put yourselves in these situations to say, you know, to reaffirm what you already know and then identify your weaknesses. And I just think it's so important to go and do these things in business, you know, go out there and to network too. So yeah, it was so fab. And it was such a nice way to kick off the week.
Oh,
so
I
good.
Still really struggle putting myself out there because obviously with that one, so you had to fly over to Chester.
I flew over to Chester. It was like a 4:30 a.m. start. That was the hardest part of it all, if I'm being honest, was getting up at 4:30.
And then how did you get from the airport to Chester?
Oh, I can't. So Chester is about 45 minutes away. So I flew into Liverpool, sorry. Mm-hmm. Chester's about 45 minutes away from Liverpool. So I thought, I'll go and hire a car and I will drive myself there and it'll all be fine and fantastic. And when I got to the car rental place, there was just a whole 2 and 8 over my booking. So I had to walk away feeling like an absolute loony bin because I had no idea what I was doing. Jamie had sorted it out for me and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I got an Uber.
45 minutes in an Uber?
I got a very expensive Uber. Yeah, I spent about £130 backwards and forwards to Chester. But look, I got to sit in the back of the car, top up my makeup, and I got there eventually.
Do you know what? I think it's so important though, whenever things like this happen, you can let it get to you and you can let it get you down, or you can just jump in the bloody Uber and go.
I don't know whether you're like this at all, but I'm such a planner and such a perfectionist. So when I have a notion in mind, like I'm going to get to the airport at this time, I'm going to walk to the car rental station at this time, I'm going to get in the car, I will be at my destination by this time, which gives me blah, 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 and it doesn't go to plan. And I'm going, what am I going to do? So bad. You do have to relax into it's okay, I'm going to get there. There is a plan B. We will all be fine. But it is hard, especially when you're not used to going and putting yourself out there and doing these things 100%. And you just want it to all be a certain way.
But it's so true, because I find even with the teams that we have in the businesses, if say that happened to one of the girls in the beauty salon, say they were way over at that course and they rang me, I'd be like, it's totally fine. Just take yourself out, jump in an Uber, away you go, I'll pay for the Uber. Whereas if that happens to me, it's like panic central.
It's the end of the world, isn't it? And it's like your logical brain just stops functioning and you 100%. Don't know how to actually rationalise what's happening. How am I going to get there? I'm going to have to walk. Yes, what am I going to do? Yeah.
And then you're like, I should just jump on a plane and go back home. Why did I leave the house? I know. I stayed at home.
I knew I shouldn't have done this.
Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter.
Right. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk to you today about was networking, and obviously you've been away, you've networked over in GB. How did you find the networking angle?
Do you know what? I used to think that networking was just for like corporates in their suits. So the whole concept of networking to me just felt really intimidating. And I do remember back when I worked in a retail management job and you had to go and network with other stores and other managers, and it all felt so sort of formal, and that was my experience of it. But actually going now, being able to step outside of that as a business owner, like networking is just not like that at all. And it's so important for your business. You know, I really think the concept that I had of it in my head is so different to the reality. It's about going out and finding your people, and it's so valuable. Some of the best contacts and support that I've made within my business is from networking. It's from, sending a DM to someone saying, yes, hey, I love what you're doing. Can we chat? And you find the most incredible people from doing that. So in terms of networking now, like it's probably one of the most invaluable things I think you can do in business, as much as you might think it's uncomfortable. Like I do love those events.
100%. And I just think, although my only pet peeve with networking is it can be a slow burn. It can be, you can meet somebody and you maybe don't buy anything off them or utilize their service, or you don't do anything for a really long time, but it does always come back around.
I think that's the thing. And I guess it depends on what, you are networking for, what benefits you are searching for in networking. So, there might be slow burners in certain businesses and certain circumstances. But I just think, like you say, it's about, building those foundations, and it will come over time. There is always going to be someone that you go, and I've seen it with you actually, you'll go, oh, I actually know someone that could do this, or, oh, let me put you in touch with such and such. Yeah. And it's so important to have those people.
No, 100%. And especially as a business owner, how many times have you found yourself in a situation and you think the world is crumbling down around you?
A million times over.
How you're going to sort a situation out. You've no idea what to do. Whereas if you have the number of somebody, or I know somebody through you that I can reach out to ask for help and advice or guidance through, that is worth its weight in gold.
100%. And particularly, I think, as self-employed businesses, it's different if you're in some big mega company where there are these resources on tap, but actually as a self-employed business owner, you have to go out and find those people yourself, because there isn't a directory of those numbers, not when you want to build personal relationships with these people. So 100%. I just think it's one of the most valuable things you can go out and do.
100%. And I think we are so blessed here in that there are so many different business owner events, networking events, opportunities, collaborations. There's so many out there. And I know we're hosting our first event at the start of March. And I can't wait for it.
Yeah, that's going to be so exciting, isn't it?
I love putting on events. I love hosting events. But to get 35 business owners in a room to network, learn from one another, collaborate, hear from some bloody incredible speakers. Like,
That's
it will
it.
just be
And
so
do you know
good.
what? It's not even about having people from the same industries, because you can learn so much from so many different people. And really, there are such tangible things that you learn from people in the room from completely different businesses. It's going to be amazing. Where is it that you're hosting
So
that?
we are doing it in the Bullet Hotel, Sunday
Bullet.
the 9th of March, which will be, it'll just be so good.
It's a gorgeous venue too.
It is so lovely. And to get like some of the people that we have coming already, they're such varied entrepreneurs.
Oh, I love
which
that.
is really exciting to see, who the final 35 turn out to be, and the 4 speakers that
I
we
have to get
are
on
good.
that actually and book my ticket.
Yeah, you do. You really need to book
Sitting
it.
here like a bad friend.
Right. So the next thing I was going to chat to you about today was retail. The retail landscape in Northern Ireland right now. How are you finding it?
Wow, like what a change. You know, we're all seeing it. It's retail is really, really shifting. Now, you know, my background is in retail management. I spent a long time doing that. And the high street's just completely changed. You know, you're seeing all these huge retailers closing their doors. But what it's making way for is a lot of niche, smaller businesses who are completely thriving in an online space versus retails in their physical bricks and mortar stores. It's just completely, the whole landscape has completely changed.
100%. And I think it's actually, while I find it really sad, and obviously we have high street based businesses, which
Yeah.
is a really scary time.
It is a
for
scary time.
those.
However, we're offering services that are, you know, there is a physical need for them,
Yes.
where the alternative, fortunately for us in some of our businesses, you can't go online and get those services. Nobody's going to do your eyelashes or your eyebrows
No.
online. That's just not something that you can
AI
get.
can't do that.
AI can't do that yet.
No, 100%. And I think it's definitely sad, but you are seeing people be really authentic, really diverse, trying new things. Like, we're seeing some incredible small business owners taking the bull by
This
the
is
horns.
it. But I think, you know, now the way that the retail space has changed, people need to be more experimental with what they're offering. It is so much more about experience, because you don't get that in high street. You know, do you remember when, have you ever worked in retail?
Yes.
When you were trained in retail and it was such a robotic experience. Hi, how can I help you? What are you looking for? We just, you know, people want connection now. You know, we buy based on emotion. We just don't buy into that sort of robotic thing that retailers are offering. And that's why I think, you know, with smaller businesses and them utilizing the online space, everything is there's so much personality, there's so much, and that is what people buy into more than they're buying into the physical product, in my opinion. You know, they want that experience. Yeah, 100%.
They want that experience driven retail purchase. They don't want it just to be nipping in and grabbing a t-shirt anymore.
No.
That's just not what it's about.
And do you know what's so funny? I was thinking about this the other day. I used to work in a retail store. It still exists in Belfast City Centre. And their whole thing was about the experience you got in the store. They had these really quirky changing rooms. People probably know where I'm talking about. They had these really quirky changing rooms. There was a cinema. There were biscuits and tea and juice. And it was all about this experience that you had. But then obviously, you know, budgets change, the margins change, what they're looking for changes. And it was actually all of those things that they stripped back on. And looking back now, I actually think that they were way, way ahead of the game, but they changed the angle, and that was what they stripped back from. Where actually now those are probably all the things that would drive footfall into those businesses, because, you know, you have that experience, which is what we're seeing online as opposed to in the high street.
And we are really trying, in each business that we have, we're really trying at the minute to think, right, how can we make this a better experience?
Yeah.
Do you know, so you walk into our bridal shop and you have Prosecco whenever you arrive, and that's something that bridal shops did for years. And then again, margins got tighter, so people pulled back, and you maybe only got Prosecco when you bought your dress.
Yeah.
You know, you go to the beauty salon, and as soon as you walk in, you're offered a cup of tea. When was the last time you went to get your nails done, and when you walked in, you had a cup of tea? Or do you know, it's all those little things.
It's so important, and it really does. I have found just over the last few years, like, investing in those experiences is what keeps people coming back to your business. And I just think, you know, with the retail stores. You just don't have that, unfortunately.
No, and I do think for small businesses in general right now, we really are having to think what is bringing the customer back.
Yeah, and thinking outside of the box with it too.
100%, and constantly trying to think, how am I different? How am I giving them a different service or a different experience to the big corporate that you have no chance of keeping up with, that you just cannot compete with. You can't compete with their margins. You can't compete with the products that they're able to put out and the rate that they're able to put them out.
100%, yeah.
I actually really love a local business. It's based, I think, in Banbridge, Walk-in Wardrobe.
Oh, I love the walk-in wardrobe.
They've nailed it.
Oh, 100%. They are just amazing. But their whole social media strategy, their online presence is just absolutely incredible. What the team
good.
do there, yeah.
But you walk into their shop and you nearly feel like you've got a personal stylist.
You do.
So you have that in
always
store.
been them. That has stayed true from day dot.
Amazing. So like
They
I
just do it
love
so
the
well.
fact I know I can walk in there and nearly have my own personal stylist to find an outfit for whatever I need. But I also then, they'll constantly pop up, whether it's my For You page or whatever it is, they're constantly popping up. And the quality of their social
why
media.
are they inside your head? How are
All
they?
the time.
How are they doing this? How do they know exactly what I want, when I want it, and when I need it?
But they also feel like your best friend.
Yeah, it is like talking to your friend. I feel
Yes.
like when Laura is in front of the camera or any of the girls and they're showing you their things, it's like you and I sitting on FaceTime to each other saying, what do you think of this? Does this go? I'm going to put this together. Do you like this? What's the vibe for the event that we're going to?
100%.
And they do it so well.
And a full outfit, because I just cannot construct an outfit. Like I don't have the mental capacity to think through a full outfit, nor the time to do it with 3 kids.
I know. Well,
and
we live in our
multiple businesses.
leggings. We live in leggings and hoodies. So I need someone to say, this goes with this. This is what you're wearing.
Here's your
today.
outfit.
Yeah.
And click the link and you buy the entire outfit.
Yeah.
Done. Thank you so much, Holly. That's me sorted.
yeah.
Love it. No, it's so true.
Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter.
We chatted a little bit about AI. Are we loving it or are we hating it in your business?
I love it. I feel like, okay, so I will admit at the start, I thought, oh my God, are robots coming to take over? Are we going to all be out of jobs? And it's going to be like something out of a film that I don't want to watch ever again. But I really use ChatGPT like my diary. You see, if I have a burning question, I don't tend to ask my sister, the girls group chat. I'm like, oh, I'll see what ChatGPT says. How I've got, maybe a client that's come to me with a difficult question. I'll go, I'll ask ChatGPT how to handle this situation. Yeah. I think it can seem scary, but I actually don't think that we are being replaced by AI at all. I think it's taken the pressure off business owners. I don't know about you. You obviously have a lot of businesses to run, but sometimes, when it comes to planning your content or coming up with ideas, you just go snowblind.
100%.
Like, what? We're supposed to do all of these things. We have to be in our businesses, outside of our businesses, managing our businesses, and now we have to be content creators too. And I think it's such a handy tool to be able to say, I want to achieve X, Y, or Z. How do I do this? And then ChatGPT, AI, it helps you generate these ideas where maybe you're not feeling so creative. I guess the risk is that, are we striking out people's creativity? But I think it's such a useful tool. Do you use it?
I love it. I use it in every single business. And actually so we have the Small Business Fanatics community, which I know you know about. And we actually done a webinar yesterday on how we're utilising AI in the Small Business Fanatics.
Oh, bro.
For business owners to actually say, look, this isn't actually to be afraid of. This isn't something that you need to be scared of. There's so many ways you can do it. But I do have one ultimate pet peeve. I have one ultimate absolute torture of a pet peeve that really drives me mad, and it's on LinkedIn, where I can see someone has written their post on ChatGPT and they've just copied and pasted it. And
Listen,
you can tell, please stop.
Because I think the thing is, what I'm saying about that is that, yes, it's taking the pressure off us, but the whole point, in my opinion, is that, you need to show your personality at every interface of your business. So please don't copy and paste, because that's not you. Use it. But, put your stamp on what you're saying, take it to be inspired. as long as it's still you. I do get that.
And we can tell. You can tell.
Of course you can.
If it's the most simple things where you can see the stars or you can see the hyphens or, and people leave those in, right? We can see them, right? We know that they're there. But not only that, it's just not how you talk. Like if you put a post up with ChatGPT, I would know.
You would know straight away. You'd be like, Rosh, what are you doing?
100%.
That's not you.
And totally use it. Like as you said, when you're a small business owner, you are constantly trying to flip between 1 minute you could be working on finance, the next minute you're working on marketing, the next minute you have a staff issue. And that's really hard to switch your brain.
Yeah, 100%.
And I always tell people, try to block the things that you're working on. Keep your creatives together. Keep your financy bits together. So it is useful that you can then get it to spark an interest for you to start.
I think particularly if you're a one-man band as well, 100%. It's invaluable for giving you resources that you maybe wouldn't know where to look. It's a bit like networking. It's like, a little friend that you have that just pulls up the information that you need it when you need it. 100%. I am a big fan. I'm not scared.
And
now.
you have been using automation. I know we were chatting about this on the way down today, but you have been using automation within your business, and I need to get on that bandwagon.
You'll have to talk to my husband about that. I'm afraid that's not my forte.
He's so good.
He's so good. He is so good. That's how I feel about it. I have no idea. Oh, Jenna, I have no idea. I let him deal with that. Now I am a bit of a micromanager. I should probably not admit to that, but I will oversee what he's doing. So I'm sort of leaning over the top of him while he does these things. But as long as sort of the functionality works and I can put the content into it. Yeah. So we have set up automated like responses to certain links on the website. And it's just so handy.
So good.
Oh, you need to do it.
Takes so much time.
I know a guy. I'll put you in contact with him.
We can start getting Jamie. He can be charging now for putting automation on everybody's website.
Hopefully his boss isn't listening.
Right. So I know we said that whenever we did these podcasts, we were going to have a chat about the things that were affecting us as small business owners out there in the world. But we were also going to hone in on some pretty incredible female entrepreneurs and women that we think are pretty much rocking it in business right now.
Yeah, and there are so many of them out there.
It's actually scary. Like there's a few that I'm obsessed with. Which is really bad.
Let's talk about it.
The one that I am absolutely loving at the minute, and I think have sheer jealousy over because what she has created out there in social media right now is unbelievable, is Amy Smile of Odd Muse.
Yeah. Wow, what a babe. Yeah. She is doing so incredibly well for herself. I've actually listened to her on a couple of other podcasts. Mm-hmm. And she's just really humble about it too. There's no frills or anything about her. And I think that's what she has done so well, is her personal brand that she's created.
No doubt in my mind. So if you don't know who she is the founder of Odd Muse, which is mid-luxury, would we say, clothing brand for women.
You would know her. She has kind of two staple pieces. It's like the blazer. How would you describe the blazer?
She's got really clean cuts, super simple, elegant, really classy.
Yeah. You would know the blazer. I feel like I'm really struggling to articulate what the blazer looks like, but she has the blazer and the dress. Yeah. Those are her two key pieces.
Oh, her dresses are amazing. I have a few of them. Stunning. They're incredible. But I think she has just nailed personal branding. Like I want to buy, if I have an event coming up and I need to buy a dress, I want to buy one of her dresses. I want to support her business. And normally I would only feel that for someone local. Yeah. And she's not local, but I feel like I want to support her business for what she's done.
I think that's what you've nailed it on the head. Like she just has such a personality, such a way of drawing you in with her online presence. And, we were talking about retail spaces. She has done that all without a storefront. She has done this all online and it is just incredible. She has built a complete, army of fans, people who are obsessed with her, but it's because she's so real. That's what I think she does so well.
100%. And did you see I think in the last week or so I had come across it. She was getting some hate on TikTok.
No.
And her fans, like her community, people that have bought her products,
They were coming to
jumped
her
to her
defense.
defense.
Oh, I love that.
So to have built that as a
Yeah.
brand is just
Yeah.
incredible. You don't see that. No one's going to jump to the defense of ASOS.
And she's very, very transparent as well about what, what's going well, what's not going well. And I actually think that's a really big lesson for us all. I think personal branding, I don't know about you, is something that I've been hearing a lot of. It's a lot of what I'm consuming at the minute, especially as you're trying to grow your business. It's something that I've taken a real keen interest in. And you need to look at people who inspire you, like Amy, like other amazing entrepreneurs, and take inspiration from what they're doing. And that is what she does so well. It's something that I think I could probably do a bit better, is, showing up more authentically online, letting people know that some days it's actually really hard. Some days it's not all plain sailing, and I'm not living this dream life every second of every day. Don't get me wrong. I love what I do. Some days I go,
some days it's hard.
I wish I had a 9 to 5.
Some days it is really hard. Being a business owner is tough. There's no doubt in that.
Yeah.
And I love how she does. She comes up really authentically and she tells people how it is. She talks about the tough days.
She doesn't hide behind her brand.
No. Like, she was so open about that they had a cash flow issue for a while, which is something that every business out there has had, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But she has grown that brand without any funding. I think that they have one super small bank loan whenever she first started. She's grown that all herself, no funding. That is no mean feat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely incredible. Well, Rosh, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. I've loved it.
That was so good. And the first Local Women business podcast complete.
Local Women Magazine presents Local Women Podcast, the show for things that matter.